Coming up on First at 4, a Harlan County family loses everything they own in a house fire. And the cleanup is underway at Dewey Lake in Floyd County ahead of the summer boating season.
And sunshine and warmer weather. The question is, how long will they last? The answer now on First at 4.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, a family of 5 has nothing left but the clothes on their backs and each other after a fire burned their home in Harlan County. ATVs, boats, and basically everything else they owned is now gone. Here's a look at the property. Fire officials say this home was in a very hard to get to area of Cumberland, making it nearly impossible to bring up their tankers. There were no fire hydrants, making it hard to get water up there, and the fire was already raging.
We're coming to help. We want to be there to help, and that's what we're here for. And then when you roll up and you see the amount of fire and the amount of involvement, and you know that there's nothing that you can do when you get there.
The family has set up a GoFundMe account to help them recover. We hope to have more on this story tonight at 6.
For our Wednesday, warm and pretty much clear skies, sunshine, the big story here. And even as we take a look at some of the cameras, you'll notice a nice afternoon on tap here in Letcher County. You'll notice where the clear skies continue over there in Whitesburg, even as you work up to North Interstate 64. Moorhead looking okay, and really no clouds in action thanks to high pressure really owning the area. That high pressure, it's centered right over top of the Commonwealth right now, and even clouds hard to find as you work out into the western portion of the state. Of course, temperatures right now at 62 in Jackson, 65 in Hazard, with 61 in Pikeville. Of course, the warm spot right now is Hazard at 65. Now, these winds, they're out of the southwest, but we will see them start to begin to increase a little bit faster and increase our temperatures as we head into your Thursday, Friday. The 70s are returning. Steve will break down when we will see a cooler pattern coming up in a few short minutes.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Floyd County's Jenny Wiley State Park is home to Dewey Lake, and as temperatures warm up, employees are working hard to get ready for their busiest season. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher talked to a park naturalist about everything that goes into the spring cleanup.
Every year, this area of Dewey Lake is covered with sediment. So in order to get it ready for the public, people are out here getting this boat ramp into tip-top shape.
Yeah, once it's cleaned up, the boats are going to be able to use the ramps. Of course, this is a ramp here.
Jenny Wiley State Park naturalist Trinity Shepard says this is a busy time of the year for them.
With all the flooding and everything that we've had, you can see that we've had a lot of sediment that has settled in around our boat ramps. And
it's not just their boat ramps that need cleaned. The recent flooding Shepard mentioned plays a big role in trash cleanups.
So here, we have 52 miles of shoreline to try to keep clean from all the trash and everything.
Anywhere from church organizations to inmate groups. Many volunteers come down to help make this area beautiful.
So there's a lot that goes on. There's a lot to keep up. I think sometimes people don't realize what all we do have to do to get ready for season.
Shepard says they are always accepting new volunteers. In Floyd County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Later tonight at 6, we'll have more on their cleanup efforts. The Missouri House approved a bill allowing schools to offer a course studying religious texts like the Bible, the Quran, or the Book of Mormon. The bill will allow the course to teach the history and content of the religious texts. A representative who decided to co-sponsor the bill this week says the course is an elective, which helps the state not cross the line.
I think it's a bad idea all the way around. Like I said, I don't want to see Buddhist texts in the public schools. Keep your government out of my religion, and I'll keep my religion out of your government.
It's only optional, and nobody has to take the class.
The bill is now in the hands of the state Senate. In 2017, Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin signed a similar bill into law here in Kentucky. Well, the governor ceremonially signed 2 bills into law this afternoon. One puts the nation's motto, "In God We Trust," in all Kentucky schools. The other is the hallmark of this year's legislative session, Senate Bill 1, Hillary Thornton has more on what's being called the School Safety and Resiliency Act.
Well, Governor Matt Bevin starting his remarks before signing these bills by saying it is a significant day and a sobering day, but also a day that should be celebrated.
A worthy celebration because their legacy will forever change the way in which we protect and take care of young people in the Commonwealth. And that's a powerful legacy. And
Governor Matt Bevin talking about Preston Cope and Bailey Holt, the two students killed at Marshall County High School last year. Senate Bill 1 is the result of a school safety working group that formed in the wake of that shooting. Their family is a big part of that effort. They believe this is a great start and something all parents should be grateful for. It is an effort that lawmakers call bipartisan, methodical, and calm. Senator Max Wise, the main sponsor, explaining that it is a two-part bill and that the funding mechanisms will come next year. The bill that is now law puts increased focus on the mental health needs of school students, as well as additional oversight of school safety efforts at local and state levels. The Cope family, who brought along Preston's baseball glove to the signing, says they find their strength to advocate through their faith and their desire to try and prevent these tragedies.
You send a healthy child to school and you get that call. You don't ever want a parent to feel that.
No.
So,
I kissed him on the head that morning.
Governor Bevin says if he is reelected, he absolutely will find the funding to implement Senate Bill 1. For now at the state capitol, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Governor Bevin also talked about the relationship he has formed with the families through all of this, and also mentioned his own loss when his high school daughter died unexpectedly years ago. Transportation regulators are being grilled about the troubled Boeing 737 MAX during hearings on Capitol Hill today. Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao faced tough questions about Boeing's grounded 737 MAX fleet from members of the Senate Appropriations Subcommittee on Transportation in Washington. Chao says she is looking into what steps were taken by the Federal Aviation Administration to certify Boeing's 737 MAX. She says the agency does collaborate with the manufacturer.
I am, of course, concerned about any allegations of coziness with any company, manufacturer, whatever.
The MAX 8 fleet is grounded until further notice while Boeing makes changes. A Florida inmate randomly sucker punched a public defender this morning inside a Broward County jail. Watch the top right corner of your screen. Attorney Julie Chase was standing alongside a woman during a bond hearing when 27-year-old William Green got out of his seat and punched Chase in the side of her head. The force of the blow knocked Chase to the ground. Deputies restrained Green as a shocked room looked on. Chase was taken to a local hospital for treatment. Court records show Green was arrested yesterday on a battery charge. President Trump supports the DOJ's move toward invalidating the entire Affordable Care Act known as Obamacare. The president made the remarks today in the Oval Office, but it leaves the question about what will replace Obamacare. There is no plan ready to go. The president says that part is still in progress.
So we're coming up with plans. We have a lawsuit right now going where phase 1 of the lawsuit terminates Obamacare, essentially terminates Obamacare. You know that's the Texas lawsuit. We think it'll be upheld, and we think it'll do very well in the Supreme Court. And
of course, we'll keep following that. Well, robocallers will soon be asking, "Can you hear me now?" when trying to reach Verizon customers. The free service will display a scam alert on a smartphone screen to notify customers the call is likely coming from a fraudulent source. Some calls will be blocked and not received by your phone at all. Landline phones will also have access to the protection service through caller ID. Verizon says that feature flagged nearly 1 billion scam and robocalls since launching last year. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Wednesday afternoon. The Dow closes down today more than 32 points. Straight ahead on First at 4, the leading prosecutor who dropped all charges against actor Jussie Smollett explains his controversial decision.
And sunshine and warmer weather will be the story for this week, but what can we expect after? The details are coming up.
Window World, the largest window replacement company in America, has zero down financing available with payments to fit your budget, all backed by the industry's strongest warranty. Locally owned and